Grand Rise. You know, particularly the reading on certain energies, right, are like, imagine having a million books of the same information. It's just that on one page, what would be on that one page is on another page in the other book. Like, they're all the same. It's just the information is on other pages. So subsequently, there's a friction. Even with effervescence, right? One of the lightest, but also one of the most aggressive situations that take place right in front of you, effervescence. So if I had soda or oxygen and water and I shook it up, the oxygen from the bottom of the water is going to try to come to the top. The confrontation will be when the bubbles interact with one another, depending on how many it is. They're all going up. And the confrontation is when the bubbles may touch to make room to be on top, so they can pop and let out the gases inside of the bubble and rise even higher. We don't understand that as a premise as people. We just go about our days. And for the most part, rising your spirituality is understanding your surroundings as far as the information that's inlaid in your vibration. And when you can start doing that, then the same book that you are, that's similar to other books, just the pages are inlaid in different numbers. What will simultaneously happen is the magic of the book will start opening. The other pages will start opening. You'll get a chance to read more about oneself, and you'll grow, which will simultaneously separate your book from every other book that's the same. That doesn't mean that you become something on the same level as everything else but greater. It doesn't mean that. You know what I'm saying? That means that you rise in a way yet to be known by people who share the same vibration. These attributes end up becoming super. They become super to the outlook on how you see life. And that's the most dynamic understanding about rising in your knowledge and your spirituality. You should be quiet with yourself, especially when you're accomplishing growth, no matter what it is. If it's financial, esoteric, spiritual, physical, you should be quiet. Work in silence, saw quietly. Because your gain is only within your existence. As a tree grows one trunk, eventually the branches sprout off into a different direction. But they all rise to the vibration that's within their existence. You can understand the constant level of the repeated vibration within characteristics of the surroundings. You see people all engage in the same energies, whether it's something that you might have laughed about 15, 20 years ago, seen in a movie. Now it's in fruition. It shows you how vibrations attach. It's watching this movie. I know a lot of you will remember Don't Be a Menace while drinking your juice in the hood. Back in the day, and the lady falls on the ground and she's like, no, my son. And the dude's like, that ain't even your son. She's like, oh. Funny shit, right? So recently I'm looking out the window and watching some things take place. And I see people just come outside in the same type energy, you know what I'm saying? Like the way the lady was dressed, no bra on, you know what I'm saying? Titties just sliding both ways, you know what I'm saying? Like longer than the hips, you know what I'm saying? Like you got this long thing on, he just looked like straight out of a movie, you know what I'm saying? Like that shit was just funny. And I was like, the vibrations traveled, you know what I'm saying? Or in some indicative manner, they express themselves through the actions of one's reality. It's hard for people to watch vibrations because they're too busy observing other people's vibrations. I have to be able to be entwined with my vibrations in order to get an outside connection to these things. This is cohesiveness or comparison. This is how I learn from things. This is how I started opening my book and the things that I've obtained on my pages. Whew. So when I come back to give messages, it's not of my knowledge. It's to give people awareness on how to turn the pages of normality in their life to a higher frequency. For the most part, the troubles are always going to be there. And when I spoke about the effervescence, the confrontation of bubbles, touching other bubbles, trying to get to a higher aspect, that's always going to be the level of confrontation. Because on one page, some bubbles just don't rise. If you look at soda, you know you have a whole bunch of the bubbles at the bottom that just never made it to the top. You know what I'm saying? Like if you got a foam bar on your beer or on your soda, a lot of bubbles, they're at the bottom. And the ones that are at the top, they're gone. They're popped. Or they're sitting there as foam, like, I wish this foam hurry up and go away. And some people need salt to make the foam go away. You know what I'm saying? Like, just so the other bubbles can get out. You got to do some construction. Oh, man. Hey, I'm just being funny, but in the same breath, you know, this is reality. But like I said before, I don't think most people look at their life that way. They're too busy looking outward to see what they can pull in themselves. Lack thereof of understanding what they're already about, what they already obtained, and what they already instill within themselves. Being able to unlock that and understanding that that's the purpose. Most of the time, if you told someone that, they wouldn't even know where to start. So here you are, listening to a bunch of people, whether it's social media, TV, whatever have you, telling you about, you know, spirituality, higher spirits, and all this other things, and religion, and what have you. But yet, you have not taken the time to go within yourself and sit down with that little personal spark of life that you have in you. You know, the one inside you. The one that gave you life. The energy that traveled through the chosen light tunnel when your parents were having sex. And it chose to take that egg sac and that sperm cell and combine them with the universal energy and create you. To go through vibrational existences to rise that to a different potential. Had nothing to do with this planet or the system that we had to live in. That was never the plan. So, with that understanding, I ain't gonna hold you. Just wanted to share some feelings of mine, because I believe without sharing my own personal growth, I can help others unlock doors, or as I said before, open new pages in your book. Use your magic wisely. You already know the vibes. NAGA.